Go off the agenda for a moment. I'm going to ask Mr. Ryan to please come up. Jim, if you could give us a update on where we are with our snow plans and everything going on, I'd really appreciate it.
You may not want to know.
All I know is you and your crew did a fantastic job. The roads were cleared, it was safe in Bensalem, so I understand it's an expensive proposition, but you guys do a great job. So.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Polari, and good evening, everyone. Tonight, I'd just like to give everyone a quick rundown on what the Public Works Department and what we've been doing since December. Since the month of December, everyone knows this is our snowiest winter that we've had in the 20 years that I've been here. We started this year with a budget of $350,000 for snow removal. And as of today, just in salt alone, we've used 6,100 tons of salt, which equates to $332,000 plus. There is a statewide shortage of salt right now. There's no salt left in Pennsylvania, New York, New Jersey, or Delaware. I got my last 500-ton shipment today. Our salt shed is filled to capacity. Actually, it's out the door. I probably have enough salt to get through another week and a half. But by the way this Thursday looks, we got reports this morning of we could get 8 to 14 inches of snow on Thursday and another 2 to 4 inches on Sunday. So we definitely have a major storm coming up this week. And I'd like to take this time to, thank the mayor, thank you gentlemen on council for having our backs, giving us the funding to make it safe for the residents of this township. I'd like to thank the Public Works Department, the men and women down there. They've really pulled out all the stops this year. The hours that we're asking them to work and they're there every storm. We have backup drivers in the police department that have been out, Parks and Recreation, the golf course, the fire marshal's office. So all of our plow drivers have been doing a terrific job. Some of the other things that go along with the amount of salt, we actually had my overtime budget for this year was $80,000. Last year we spent $46,000 in overtime. Right now I'm over $20,000 in 1 month for overtime. So the mayor prides himself on service. I am right with him on that. We do everything that we possibly can to keep the residents of this township safe, and I think we're doing a pretty good job. So I'm over $25,000 in overtime this month to the end of, that brings us up to the end of January. I didn't count any February storms in the overtime because I don't have those figures handy right now. I think one of the big problems that we've had this past week, everyone knows the power outages. The latest update on the power outages, there's still, I think it's 76 residents in Bensalem that are still without power. When the storm first hit, we were up to 5,500. So PECO is doing a terrific job getting power back on. Hopefully, by tomorrow, everyone should have power. During the height of the storm, the ice storm, Public Works responded. We had over 55 trees that came down and tangled up in wires. So besides the salting of the streets and just road closures, putting out barricades, generators on 7 intersections that had to run for 3 days that didn't have power, so we had to generate that and keep the generators manned. What else do we have? We've been using outside contractors. When the snow gets above 8 inches, we put them out just to help us with the courts and the cul-de-sacs. and they've been doing a really good job too. I think our biggest issue right now is the amount of salt that we have, the amount of salt that we've used this year, and our ability to store salt. I think, and I spoke to the mayor, and I think maybe in a few weeks the mayor will be coming to council with a request that we actually look in and buy in another salt shed so we could store another 1,500 tons of salt and keep it out of the weather. I'd be glad to answer any questions if anyone has any.
Right.
They hold 1,500 tons.
Jim, I just have a quick question. I read about the salt shortage that you mentioned, and is there salt available if we have a place to store it that we can purchase?
I was told no, but I made a phone call today and found 500 tons, and we had to pay to get it picked up, of course, because it didn't include delivery, but there's still some available. It's just making the phone calls and finding the right person. So there is some. PennDOT and the Turnpike, they're working on something right now for municipalities, and I have a real good working relationship with PennDOT. They load our trucks during the storms from the Trevose yard, and then we always just reimburse them the salt that we use. And they've been a great help too. Excuse me.
So at this time, you say that our storage is at capacity?
We have as much as I could fit right now, yes.
But Jim, it's mostly because the rivers are frozen and the barges can't get up, right? It's not, the world's not out of salt, just
No,
can't get to us,
no,
right?
we can't get the salt. Everybody is in the same boat that we are. The amount of storms that we've had, I estimated at the beginning, actually last year when the bid went out, that I would use 6,000 tons. That's usually what I order per year. A lot of times I only use 3,000, sometimes 2,500 tons. This year, I'm only in January and I'm at my limit. So technically, by the contract, they don't have to sell me any more salt, or the price could double. But they've been still honoring the price, the contract price, because it's an estimated amount that we get every year. And each time that we go out, we use probably about 500 to 600 tons on the streets. It's a lot of salt.
A lot of streets.
A lot of streets, 143 miles. So, yeah, and that's up and down 3 times, 4 times on each one. So,
Anybody else on the board have any questions for Jim?
I'd just like to register one complaint, and I think my employees would echo it. You do such a good job at clearing the roads. They get all upset with me when I don't close the office because I can get up and get into work, so why can't they?
I'll take that every day.
Jim, good job. Keep up the good work. Send our kudos over to your crew. They do a fantastic job, and keep it up, and we'll be here to work with you to make sure we keep people of Bensalem safe and the roads safe, and they can get to where they're going.
Oh, I definitely will, Mr. President. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Jim.